Brandon Raw Dog Royval versus Joshua the Fearless Van. Interesting fight here. This whole card has been a fucking bit of nonsense. They had about 6 fights up until last week, and then they've just chucked all this shit together. This isn't one of those. Royval originally had Cap as his opponent, and Van has stepped in, I think with maybe 1 or 2 or a little bit more notice than most guys on this card, but he hasn't had a full camp for this for sure. And he fought not too long ago against Bruno Silva, and that was an easier fight for him. Still took some damage. I have no doubt Joshua Van doesn't struggle with the weight cut. He's 5'5", he's a small guy for that weight class. Doesn't look exceptionally built or anything like that. Just a very well-skilled guy who I'm sure is in camp all the time. I'm sure he's fucking hungry as fuck. He's 23. This is a great matchup for him as well, to be honest with you. Brandon Royval, it's a great match for both of them because Brandon Royval was originally fighting Emmanuel Cap, who I think fucks him up. But Joshua Van, shorter than Cap, slightly less speed, more of a counter-puncher, whereas Cap's a counter-puncher as well, but is very good when he gets his rhythm and goes forward. Both rhythm fighters. For me, it's one of the ones where, is Royval able to get his ground game off in this fight? Difficult to know. Joshua Van has been taken down and controlled in a few fights, but is Brandon Royval that guy to get him down? The 75% takedown accuracy stat would suggest that, but he's not really doing that in his fights. He's not really that guy. He reminds me a bit more of a Nate Diaz sort of character with the fact that he relies on his volume on the feet to get guys to grapple with him, and then he can impose a bit of scrambles and all that sort of stuff. Great grappler. If it goes to the ground, interesting. I think what's good about Van is that he doesn't play jiu-jitsu at all. He just aims to get up, gets to the cage, get up, aims, gets to the cage, get up. That's all he does, and he keeps himself very safe while doing it. On the feet, Royval's a good boxer, an okay kicker, not a great kicker, but an okay kicker. Has had noodly arms in the past, where he just is flopping about, throwing these things and throws like a lot of volume, which for me presents a lot of opportunities for Van, who's fucking hungry as fuck and a great counterpuncher. Interestingly, I back Joshua Van. I think he's going to be that guy. I think he's going to be the guy to be able to make Royval pay for the shit he throws. Royval's going to be throwing, and I think Van's going to be fucking countering that shit, pulling, slipping, ripping. And Royval's got a fucking chin, so I wouldn't be surprised as a 3-rounder if this went Joshua Van decision. He's been KOing a lot of boys, and you might get decent odds at that. That's the way I see this. I do think Raw Dog is a good guy, but maybe not at that highest level. Van, I think, is probably hungry enough and decent enough striker to deal with all that shit. Thank you very much for watching, guys. This has been the MMA Elevator with me, Darius. Get some rest. Some big fights coming up. Betting video coming out later this week. I will actually do it this week. And yeah, excited to fucking watch this card.